Welcome, dear listener, to another gentle journey into the forgotten corners of history. Tonight, we invite you to step softly into the misty embrace of the past, where the echoes of ancient Rome's bustling streets and steamy bathhouses whisper to us through the centuries. As you settle in, allow your mind to drift through time, leaving behind the cares of today's world. Let each word unfold like a warm breeze across the Tiber, guiding you into a place where history hums softly beneath the surface. In this episode, we will begin by exploring the hidden truths of daily life in a Roman bathhouse, a place of social gathering, hygiene, and unspoken anxieties. Then, we'll shift our gaze to Agrippina the Elder, a woman of remarkable fortitude and ambition, navigating a world that seldom welcomed her strength. From there, we'll wander into the enigmatic realm of lost rituals, those customs and mysteries that linger in the shadows of Roman baths, half forgotten yet deeply human. Finally, we'll ascend into the world of Rome's elite, where luxury and indulgence form the backdrop for every conversation and every glance. Now imagine yourself stepping through the grand entrance of an ancient Roman bathhouse. Feel the warm air thicken around you, carrying the faint scent of oil, sweat, and ancient stone. Let us begin our journey together, one quiet step at a time. Imagine yourself in the heart of Rome, the midday sun casting a golden haze over the city's rooftops. You find yourself at the threshold of one of Rome's greatest communal spaces, the public bathhouse. It is a place of gathering, a hub of social life, yet also a realm of hidden discomforts. As you step inside, the air shifts. It grows warm and damp, carrying with it the mingling scents of oil, old water, and bodies that have labored under the Mediterranean sun. The walls are darkened by centuries of steam, their surfaces worn smooth by countless hands. Here, the rhythm of life slows to the pace of quiet conversations and the shuffle of sandaled feet. The baths, or thermae, were far more than places to wash. They were living, breathing communities where people came to share news, conduct business, and simply be seen. Yet, beneath this surface of social activity, an unspoken struggle simmered. For the water was not always clear and fresh, as one might hope. Instead, it was often a tepid mixture, cooled by frequent use, clouded by oils and perfumes, and carrying the residue of 1,000 conversations. Picture yourself moving through the tepidarium, the warm room, where steam curls in slow eddies around the marble benches. Here, the air is thick, and each breath feels heavy, carrying the scent of sweat mingled with the faint tang of heated stone. Around you, men of every status recline and talk in low voices, their skin glistening with the residue of oil and heat. Some scratch at unseen irritations, their bodies marked by lice and the constant itch of communal living. Imagine the slipperiness of the floor beneath your feet, a mixture of oils and sweat, rendering every step a cautious journey. There is a sense of vulnerability here, of eyes watching, of whispered judgments. The bathhouse is a stage where one's body is on display, where every mark, every blemish is open to scrutiny. The social anxiety of being seen, of being compared, lingers in the corners like a restless spirit. In the caldarium, the hot room, the heat presses upon your skin like a heavy cloak. The air itself seems to shimmer. You can feel your pores opening, the sweat beading across your brow and running in slow rivulets down your back. Around you, men pour water over themselves, mixing it with the oils scraped from their skin, forming a slick pool on the stone beneath them. Everywhere, the quiet hum of voices blends with the occasional clink of cups and the soft slap of water on stone. Yet beneath this calm lies a constant awareness of the shared discomforts, lice that thrive in communal spaces, the questionable quality of the water, and the unspoken worry that the man seated beside you might carry more than mere conversation. At the end of your visit, you might find yourself in the frigidarium, the cold room, where a plunge into the chilled waters offers a final shock to the system. Even here, the clarity of the water cannot always be trusted, for so many bodies have shared this space, leaving behind whispers of their presence. In this ancient place of gathering, the bathhouse was both a refuge and a crucible, a place where the burdens of daily life mingled with the soft comforts of ritual and routine. Yet for all its social importance, the Roman bathhouse was a realm of constant negotiation between cleanliness and contamination, comfort and caution. So as you sit now in the quiet of your own space, imagine the daily rhythm of those who lived and bathed together. The damp walls echo with the sighs of the weary, the laughter of the bold, and the quiet murmur of secrets shared beneath the drifting steam. And now, as the heat of the bathhouse fades, we leave behind the steamy corridors and venture toward the life of a woman who navigated the corridors of power, Agrippina the Elder. Let us step lightly into the story of her struggle and ambition. As the lingering warmth of the Roman bathhouse recedes, allow yourself to drift now into the corridors of imperial power. The world of Rome's elite was a realm of intrigue, ambition, and ceaseless maneuvering. A stage upon which a woman named Agrippina the Elder played her part with uncommon resolve. Imagine the hush of marble hallways, the shuffle of sandal on stone, the cool shadows of colonnades stretching like silent witnesses to history's unfolding. Within these halls moved Agrippina, daughter of Marcus Vipsanius Agrippa and Julia, granddaughter of the revered Augustus himself. She was born into the swirl of imperial politics, her life shaped from the outset by expectation and duty. From an early age, Agrippina carried the weight of her lineage, a burden of both privilege and peril. She was destined to marry Germanicus, the popular and charismatic general who embodied Rome's ideals of nobility and valor. Together, they formed a partnership that captivated the Roman people, a family whose presence at public games and ceremonies was met with adoration. Yet beneath the public adulation lay a life woven with the threads of loss and vigilance. Germanicus, the empire's darling, died under mysterious circumstances in Syria, a death that sent ripples of suspicion through Rome's highest echelons. Agrippina, left a widow in a foreign land, gathered her children and the ashes of her husband and made the solemn journey back to Rome, a living embodiment of grief and defiance. Imagine her returning to the city, her face veiled, her steps measured. The crowds gathered to witness the return of a woman who had lost a husband, a woman who now stood as the matron of Rome's future. She carried not only the weight of personal sorrow, but also the heavy burden of political calculation. For even in mourning, Agrippina's position was precarious. Her popularity with the people made her a potential threat to those who clung to power, including the Emperor Tiberius himself. In the years that followed, Agrippina's life unfolded beneath the watchful eyes of the imperial court. She advocated fiercely for her sons, particularly Gaius, known to history as Caligula. Her devotion to her family was unwavering, her sense of duty unshaken even as she navigated the treacherous currents of Roman politics. Picture her standing in the atrium of her home, a place of stately calm that belied the turmoil beyond its walls. The gentle splash of water in the courtyard fountain, the rustle of servants tending to their tasks, the measured click of sandals on mosaic floors, all reminders of a life lived in the shadow of power. But even the strongest resolve could not shield her from Rome's shifting tides. Accused of plotting against the emperor, she found herself exiled to the island of Pandateria, a wind-swept, lonely place where the sea whispered of promises broken. It was there that Agrippina's story came to a quiet, sorrowful end. Imagine her looking out across the endless horizon, the waves rolling in a ceaseless rhythm, the salt air heavy with memories. She had played the game of power as few women dared, and though her life ended in isolation, her legacy lived on through her children and the stories that would be told of her strength. Agrippina the Elder, a woman of conviction in a world that rarely made room for it, stands as a testament to the quiet resilience that often shapes history. Her story reminds us that power is a double-edged sword, that devotion can breed suspicion, and that even in exile, a mother's resolve can leave an indelible mark upon an empire. And now, as the salt air of Pandateria recedes, let us journey deeper still, into the lingering shadows of forgotten rituals and customs. Let us peer into the mysteries that remain half-buried beneath the ruins of Rome's bathhouses. As the echoes of Agrippina's journey fade into the night air, let us drift now into the quiet, half-lit corners of Rome's bathhouses, places not only of gathering, but of custom and ritual, some of which remain mysteries even to this day. Imagine yourself standing in the shadowed chamber of a ruined bathhouse. The stones are cool beneath your feet, and the air is thick with the memories of voices long since silenced. Archaeologists have uncovered fragments of implements, inscriptions, and worn mosaic floors that hint at a world of rituals now lost to time. Consider for a moment the small bronze strigil, a curved instrument used to scrape oil and sweat from the skin. Its surface bears the patina of centuries, a quiet witness to countless hands that once grasped it. Historians tell us that oiling the body was not just about cleansing, it was a daily ritual, a way to prepare oneself for the baths, to announce one's presence and status. Yet the precise rhythms and etiquette of this process remain elusive. Did each person anoint themselves, or was there an order to it? A subtle dance of hierarchy and service that governed the flow of oil and water. Inscriptions on the walls of some bathhouses speak of offerings and small altars, suggesting that bathing might have held a sacred dimension. Imagine the hush of a small corner where a flickering lamp illuminated a household deity, where a quiet prayer might have accompanied the cleansing of the body. Was this ritual of purification merely physical, or did it hold deeper, more spiritual meaning? And then there are the curiosities, strange implements of uncertain purpose. Archaeologists have found slender, needle-like tools whose functions are debated. Some believe they were used for applying cosmetics or medicinal ointments. Others suggest they played a role in minor medical treatments or even in the administration of perfumes. Their delicate craftsmanship hints at a culture deeply invested in the care of the body, in ways we may never fully comprehend. Picture also the sounds that once filled these spaces, the soft murmur of voices, the occasional splash of water, the rhythmic scraping of strigils, each a note in the symphony of daily life. Yet some sounds have faded beyond recovery. The incantations whispered for luck, the private conversations between friends and rivals, the gentle hush of rituals that bound the bathers together. In the corners of the bathhouses, archaeologists sometimes discover small tokens, coins, beads, or even tiny statues, left as offerings or lost in the daily routine. These objects, now carefully catalogued in museums, speak of a human impulse to connect the physical act of bathing with the unseen forces that shaped Roman life. Perhaps they were meant to bring protection, or simply to mark a wish whispered into the steam. Imagine the slow fade of steam rising toward the high vaulted ceilings of the caldarium, the patterns of condensation tracing delicate lines across the stone. Perhaps in these moments of quiet, when the bathhouse emptied and the last visitor had departed, the attendants carried out small rituals of cleansing and preparation for the next day, practices that have slipped between the pages of history, leaving us only faint traces. And so we are left with a mosaic of hints: the strigil's curve, the faint scent of oil, the worn steps leading to the plunge pool, the small offerings half buried in time. Each fragment is a window into a world both familiar and foreign, a reminder that even in the most public of spaces, private rituals shaped the rhythm of Roman life. And now, as the echoes of the bathhouse grow still, let us step into the grand halls, of Rome's elite. Let us explore the world of patrician banquets and private luxuries, a world that stood in stark contrast to the steamy baths of the common folk. As the quiet remnants of ancient rituals fade into the background, allow yourself to wander now into the elegant, candle-lit world of Rome's patricians, a world of luxury privilege and delicate ceremony that stood in marked contrast to the crowded baths and bustling streets of the common people. Imagine the hush of a grand villa's atrium at dusk, the warm glow of oil lamps casting dancing shadows across painted frescoes. A trickling fountain murmurs softly in the background, its gentle song blending with the measured footfalls of servants preparing for the evening's feast. Here, among these polished marble columns and intricate mosaics, the patricians of Rome gathered to dine and to reinforce the social ties that bound them together. The cena, the evening meal, was not merely a time for sustenance, but a stage for the subtle performances of wealth and influence. Picture yourself reclining on a cushioned couch, draped in fine fabrics that catch the lamplight with every movement. The table before you is adorned with vessels of silver and bronze, their surfaces gleaming with the patina of age and use. Platters of carefully arranged delicacies, olives, figs, honeyed dates, tempt the eye and the palate. Each dish speaks of trade routes and distant lands, of Rome's reach extending far beyond the city's 7 hills. Servants move quietly, their footsteps muffled by the smooth floors. One offers a delicate cup of spiced wine, its surface shimmering with hints of cinnamon and honey. Another brings warm water for the ritual washing of hands, a small yet significant gesture that signals both hospitality and hygiene. In this setting, conversation is as carefully curated as the meal itself. Topics flow gently from politics to poetry, from trade to the latest news from the provinces. The voices are measured, never rushed, each participant mindful of the delicate dance of status and favor. The art of conversation is a skill as refined as any military maneuver, a means of forging alliances, of reinforcing one's place within the shifting web of power. Between courses, entertainers might be called forth, musicians plucking at lyres, dancers weaving through the air with graceful arms, or poets reciting verses that blend the present with the mythic past. Their performances, though a form of entertainment, also serve as a mirror, reflecting the tastes and values of those who dine. Imagine the scent of roasted game mingling with the sweetness of fruit and the tang of sharp cheeses. The air is rich, yet somehow delicate, an olfactory tapestry that evokes both indulgence and restraint. The table itself becomes a map of Rome's vast empire, a display of culinary conquest that stretches from the coasts of Hispania to the fertile valleys of the Nile. Outside these gilded walls, the lives of the masses unfold with a different rhythm. The common people might share a simple meal of bread and olives, a cup of thin wine, a rough bench instead of a cushioned couch. Their days are shaped by labor, their nights by the press of crowded tenements. Yet here, in the dining room of the elite, the harsh realities of the city seem distant, softened by the glow of lamps and the quiet murmur of conversation. In this space, the patricians reaffirm their place in the world, a place apart, both literally and figuratively, from the struggles of those who toil in the fields and markets. Their lives, though filled with their own intrigues and uncertainties, bear a different weight, a luxury that rests on the broad shoulders of an empire's labor. As the evening wanes, the last notes of music drift into silence, and the guests depart beneath the vast Roman sky, their steps measured and unhurried. Servants clear the remnants of the feast, their tasks carried out in the hush that follows the laughter and talk. The lamps gutter and fade, leaving only the soft glow of embers and the distant echo of footsteps on ancient stone. And so we close the door gently on this world of privilege and refinement, a world that shimmered brightly, even as it cast long shadows across the lives of the many who labored to sustain it. As we draw this journey to a close, Let us pause to reflect on the contrasts and connections that have shaped our exploration tonight. Let us find comfort in the knowledge that the past, though distant, shares with us the quiet rhythm of human lives lived moment by moment. And so, dear listener, our journey through the steamy chambers of the Roman bathhouse, the resolute life of Agrippina the Elder, the quiet mysteries of lost rituals, and the refined world of Rome's patricians now draws to a gentle close. As you rest in the quiet of your own space, allow the sounds and scents of ancient Rome to fade softly into the background, a distant murmur that drifts like a fading dream. The rhythms of the past, though marked by struggles and triumphs, remind us of the enduring threads that bind us across time, the search for comfort, the rituals that bring meaning, and the human need for community even in the most unexpected of places. Imagine now the bathhouse walls cool and silent once more, the last whispers of steam dissolving into the night air. Picture Agrippina's steadfast gaze turned toward a horizon that promised both challenge and legacy. Let the lost rituals and forgotten tools of the bathhouse rest, their mysteries left for another time. And see the patricians' lamps dimming, their banquets ended, their laughter fading into the quiet corridors of memory. In this hush, let your mind settle into the rhythm of your own breath, the steady beat of the present, a calm reminder that the past may shape us, but the peace of this moment is yours to hold. Thank you for joining me on this gentle exploration. May sleep find you easily, carrying you on a soft tide of dreams, and may the echoes of history lull you into a deep and restful night. Until we meet again, sleep well and dream of the quiet corners of the past.